Reality glitched is just, I changed the phrase around, the words around from my newsletter, glitch reality. So, and if anyone who's got to read it, glitch reality is about some of the common cybersecurity techniques that you can, or tips that you can use to not get hacked or like have some of those harmful things happen to you, because everything is in technology. So reality glitched turns that around. It's about, okay, let's look at the other parts of reality that I call glitched, because there's things out there. Let's just be honest. There's things that we don't like about reality that should be better. And on this focus, I'm talking about the tech. I'm talking about so far as when it comes to career, the technology careers. There's so many people out there trying to sell this get rich quick scheme about, get certified, get you a six-figure job in 90 days. I'm here to tell you that is not correct. Why am I doing this? Oh, that's the story itself. I'm doing this because I was that guy who I was in, I grew up in a small, well, it's not a small town. I grew up in a town where it was kind of like a bubble to these things. I was told to be a doctor, be a lawyer, be one of these people, successful people, or actually was considered to be successful. But there was a question that I had, and a couple of us had, like, how do you get there? We didn't know. I'm doing this for the people who have no clue. They're told to go to college. They hear a lot of marketing online. Go get the certification, you'll get it quickly. Well, that's just pieces of the puzzle. You need to understand how to do this. You need to understand exactly how those parts fit together to get you to where you want to be. And here's the tricky part. That's only part of it. That is not the whole entire puzzle. There's a certain presence in communication you need to have. There are some pieces of knowledge that you can't learn in the classroom. You can't learn it from reading a book. This is something that someone has to explain to you, or you have to experience it firsthand. So I'm doing it for those people who very smart. They have the knowledge, they can pick up these things quickly, but they don't know how to quite get there. One of those things is being told about being your authentic self, keeping it real. You can keep it real all you want to when you're at home. You can keep it real all you want to when you go out with your friends or you're in the car. But when somebody wants to pay you a certain amount of money, let's come up with a number. Let's say it was let's say it was $80 an hour. $80 an hour would be good for a lot of people. If you think that coming in being who you want to be and not being that person that you're paid to be on TV is how I like to say it. Basically, you're being paid to fill a role. In that role, you need to understand how to act accordingly. Otherwise, that $80 an hour job is going to go to somebody else who decides to be acting Rome as you would be in Rome. Who am I doing this for? I'm doing this for people like myself. When I say that, like myself, I mean for people who they want to develop themselves. They want to grow. They want to get the career that they hear about on TV, but they're being tricked. They're being told that, they can get fast tracked. I'm doing it for the lady who has 4 kids, 2 to 4 kids, and they're looking to take the next step in their life. Doesn't matter their age. I'm doing this for the veteran who has come out with experience working on technology. I know there's soldiers out there who are definitely have had their experience working, such as myself, in technology. But some of the things that they don't tell you about is how some of these great people have learned how to build servers on their simulated machine gun fire terrorist attacks. And actually, there's people who actually had to put these things together in terrorist attacks or from while taking gunfire from the enemy. That's a high stressful situation. You learn how to pick technology. There are soldiers out there that have trained themselves. They're veterans who have a wealth of knowledge in their head about technology management. These people have been preparing themselves physically and mentally for a war that may never come. But hopefully we're not going to get a war. But there's the war that's in the corporate realm. And you can learn how to fight those battles. It's just a few tweaks there. I'm doing this for the college students. The college students that they listen to what they were told. Go to college. You'll learn. They need to understand some of the puzzle pieces that come together, how to go into these environments and learn some of these things that you're not just going to pick up from reading a university book. But definitely I'm doing this for those who they haven't been in military, they haven't been in college. Some of those who just want to pick it up from square one, like, hey, I can do this. But one thing that must be understood, this is not for everybody. And they don't say that. Everybody doesn't have a knack for technology. Everybody has a different skill set, and there might be something else. And you can build a successful career there. But all in all, I'm doing it for them.